Once upon a time in the Chicago area in the year 1990, there was a teenager named Brian Jewell. Like many teens, Brian was looking forward to Halloween, a time when spookiness and fun filled the air. Little did he know that this Halloween would be different, marked by a tragic accident that will leave a lasting impact on his community and the world of Halloween attractions. Brian had a job that many teenagers might envy. He worked at a place that offered hay rides, those fun and spooky rides where people sit on bales of hay and travel through dark paths, encountering all kinds of Halloween-themed scares along the way. It sounded like a thrilling job, and Brian was excited to be a part of it. His role was to give hayride customers a good scare. Dressed up in spooky costumes, he would hide along the route and jump out to startle riders. But one particular part of his job was especially eerie. He had to pretend to hang from a gallows, the kind of wooden structure used for hangings in the olden days. You might be wondering why anyone would want to pretend to hang from a gallows. Well, during Halloween, people like to be scared in a safe and fun way. It's like watching a scary movie or going through a haunted house. The gallows was just another way to give people a spooky thrill, like something out of a spooky story. As the big day approached, Ryan was prepared for his role. He knew it was all make-believe, and he was excited to see the reactions of the hayride passengers when they came across his scary act. But what happened next would turn this Halloween into a tragic event no one could have predicted. On that fateful night, as Brian got ready for work, he put on his costume, which included a noose. The noose was not real. It was just a prop made to look like the kind of rope used in the olden days. It was meant to add to the spooky atmosphere and give the passengers a thrill. As the hayride began its journey through the dark, winding paths, Brian took its position on the gallows. His job was to make it seem like he was hanging there, just another part of the scary scene. But something went horribly wrong that night. Brian's harness, the thing that was supposed to keep him safe, malfunctioned. The harness was supposed to hold him securely in place, making sure he didn't actually get hurt while pretending to hang. But instead, it tightened around his neck, just like a noose would in real life. Brian was in real trouble, and there was panic in the air. People who were on the hayride quickly realized that something was terribly wrong. They saw Brian struggling, but they couldn't reach him in time to help. It was a horrifying and chaotic scene, and everyone was scared and shocked. Despite the frantic efforts of those around him, Brian Jewell was strangled by the malfunctioning harness. It was a tragic accident that happened so suddenly and so unexpectedly. Brian, a young teenager with his whole life ahead of him, lost his life that night, in a place where he was supposed to be giving people harmless scares. The news of the accident spread quickly, and it sent shockwaves through the community and beyond. People couldn't believe that something so terrible could happen during what was supposed to be a fun and spooky Halloween event. An investigation was launched to understand what went wrong and how such a tragic accident could occur. It was revealed that there were problems with the safety equipment and the way it was used. The malfunction of the harness was a critical factor that led to this devastating loss. As the investigation unfolded, there were questions about the safety measures in place at Halloween attractions like the hayride where Brian worked. It was a wake-up call for the industry, a moment that made everyone realize the importance of safety precautions and proper equipment in these types of events. Brian's tragic death served as a painful reminder that even in the world of make-believe and fun scares, real dangers can exist. It was a heartbreaking loss for his family, who had expected their son to return home safely from a night of work, and for the entire community. In the wake of this tragedy, there were changes made to safety regulations and practices at Halloween attractions. The hope was to prevent such a terrible accident from happening again. People realized that safety should always come first, even in the midst of spooky fun. The story of Brian Jewell serves as a poignant reminder of the need for safety and precautions in all forms of entertainment, especially those that involve thrilling and scary experiences. It was a heartbreaking event that left a mark on Halloween attractions, making them safer for everyone who wants to enjoy a spooky spirit of the holiday. As Halloween continues to be celebrated each year, we remember Brian Jewell and the tragic accident that took his life. It's a story that reminds us of the preciousness of life and the importance of safety, and the need for vigilance in all aspects of our lives, even when we're having fun. And so, the story of Brian Jewell is one that we carry with us as a reminder to cherish every moment, to prioritize safety, and to ensure that even in the world of spooky thrills, no one should ever lose their life in a tragic accident. It's a lesson that we remember not just during Halloween, but throughout the year, as we seek to protect and care for one another. This incident happened in the month of October in 1990. Brian was only 17 years old. Our hearts go out to his family and friends, and to everyone who has lost a loved one during this time.